Alright, here we go with another tutorial, sort of a how-to or walkthrough of using contrast paints. So I'm painting up some Badmoon Ork boys here, and I did the blue one first. Didn't really like how the blue turned out, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to redo another one, and I'll just publish both these videos together. So the first one you're going to see here is the black and black and yellow one, and then later in the video you'll see the blue and yellow version of it. I'll put a link in the description or a timestamp in the description below just so you can skip to that if you prefer to see that one. So basically starting off with Ork Flesh contrast paints. As you can see, it's just the Wraithbone sort of base coat on everything. I actually base coated these guys with white primer and then just did a really quick sort of overpainting with some of the Wraithbone paint. So doing Cygor Brown on all of the pants, so this gives a nice deep brown. It's kind of like a Rhinox hide if you're using the layer paints. I have an older video where I did a set of Shooter Boys and in Badmoon colors, so this is similar sort of that. Black Templar for the black boots and the black shirt underneath everything there. As you can see, I'm not quite getting inside the line, so I'm going here now with Wraithbone and going to touch everything up. So the pouches, the straps, and all that, the things are going to be painted next. So this is sort of a thing with contrast paints. If you're doing everything in contrast, you're going to need to touch everything up as you kind of get midway through, or at least that's what I find if you're kind of going fast. Putting the Iyanden Yellow on some of the yellow details that I've chosen. So I've chosen a bit on the chainsword and the bolt pistol and his shoulder pad and his hair. You can kind of pick whatever you like. Doing a little bit of the skeleton horde on the teeth and claws, and then Snakebite Leather for all the leather trims, so the strapping, the belts, the pouches, the armbands, all that sort of thing. I really like Snakebite Leather. I think it's definitely a staple in the line. I also like the Basilicanum Grey for the sort of non-metallic silver look. I also like the black. I think I'm going to do a tutorial or a tip video on my impressions of contrast paints and sort of essential ones and my impressions of how I like to do it. Okay, now we're going to switch over to the second boy. Finish up these pictures here. Okay, so now we're into the blue version of the guy. So again, starting with Ork Flesh on all the flesh bits. I find with contrast paints, it's kind of good to start from the sort of the colors that are in the base of the model, sort of the working from the inside out. So flesh being the lowest color, and then everything sort of on top of that, and then sort of at some point you have to do some touch-ups with the base coat. Talassar Blue. So this blue probably is a bit bright. Maybe ultramarine blue would be a bit more suited for Badmoons. Just it kind of depends on what sort of style. I just remember some Badmoons from way back, maybe as a second edition, where they were sort of blue and yellow was the main colors. I think that was second edition. Okay, so we did the black, now doing the Basilicanum Grey for the metal bits. And you got to make sure you get a good coverage with this one here. I don't know if it was just the way that I did the primer. Sometimes I missed some spots. Snakebite Leather, again, for all the straps. And then some Nazdreg Yellow. Now I figured this would be, seeing as it's named after an orc, it would be a good orky color. I think the other yellow is better for Badmoons, nice and bright. Just depends again what sort of if you're looking for a grimy look. I actually painted this guy first, and I wasn't super happy with how it turned out, so I painted the second Badmoon. I hadn't planned on doing two. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of using contrast paints to paint some Badmoon orcs. Leave a comment below if you have any requests for future videos, and hope you liked it. Subscribe and share and all that sort of stuff. See you next time.